Hello everyone, welcome back. This episode here is continuation of my fanny pack right here, in which you see. I'm just want to show you how I carry this with me. Right now, I put it in front of me. It's loose enough where I could slide it around. But this is probably by far the most comfortable position while I'm driving, is right here. And so I put the seatbelt over it right here, and what's in here is just my Wi-Fi, some cash, and the cards. And so if I do get into an accident, it's not going to kill me to have this over it. But it does, what it does do is allow me to open this up and have access to my firearm here. So, which, if you look around, and over here, of course, I have my AR-15 here in my racket bag, Babolat racket bag, and my computer and all that stuff. But anyways, here it is, and this is the way I positioned it this time, because the way I'm traveling, this is actually going to be for my left hand. So it's going to be for my left hand. I should really change this to the other side, but actually it doesn't really matter. Anyways, so this is how I carry in the vehicle, and it's actually very comfortable, because it actually adds a cushion on the seatbelt. As you see here, it acts as a cushion because it's just up against the credit cards here and my phone, and I'm using this phone right now as to make the video, but my phone will be somewhere in one side or the other, or in the middle, but it would be here, and there's a lot of room to give and take here. So I'll cut in and cut out, and so far my experience has been wonderful. And just to give you an idea, here I'm just out and about at a local shopping center around here, as you can see, and I just walked into the grocery store with my tennis racket bag, my computer, because I don't leave that behind, my smartphone, which I attach right about here somewhere, and then the fanny pack, and I'm wearing tennis shoes, shorts, and this long sleeve undergarment, or it's not a Nike or Under Armour kind of brand, but it's that kind of material. And usually this is for compression, like the shirt would be. This would be really tight, like this would be really tight. But I buy them oversized. This is extra large. Usually I fit a medium, but I just get it for the breathability, because it's hot right now. It is super duper hot and humid, and you'll see a lot of people walking around with shorts, sandals, and stuff like that, and it's just very hard to conceal in very hot weather environment. So carrying something in a non-holster, loaded firearm, like this fanny pack, could be a good option. I find it very useful because it does a couple things. It does carry other stuff, carries money, and it does act as a belt to clip on my smartphone and other things. So let me go ahead and just cut out, and I'll get back to you later when I come back in. Hello everyone, coming back in here. It was a bright day and it started raining, so anyway, I'm back. I had to do some take care of my business and get things done. Anyways, This is the second part of the fanny packs episode here. I did want to make a second part because now I've really worn it for maybe about a week now. I can tell you right now that I really do enjoy using this fanny pack or waist pack carrying case. It does quite a bit, and what I like is I do like the little things on the side here. You could put a carabine in here, or even a lock. You could probably put a lock on here. Let me see, actually. So maybe I'll use this one, maybe it'll be black, I'm not sure, but this is really handy because depending how you want your zippers, sometimes I fold this in to get a very lower, much lower profile on the handles. Same thing with here is what I've done is I've if you open this up, it's in the webbing here, but I just jam that in there, and then oh sorry, and the reason I did that is so if I need to pull it, I don't end up pulling you know, I don't end up pulling both of them. So that's one of the reasons I just figured just go ahead and jam one of these in and just make this. But what I like about it is that it can go on the other side as well. So you can do the same thing here. And there's also webbing in here, and then you can hide this away, pull this one out, and have it open from the other side. Another thing you can do, if you wanted to, I'm not sure, I'll do it from the top so you can see a lot better, is I'll just, if I really want it to be very low profile, I'll just go ahead and jam both of these in, and then it's a much more lower, you can see how much more lower profile it is. Let me see if I can get a flashlight. There we go. So you can see that it's much more lower profile when you do them that way. Just so if you need this to be really on you and you don't want a lot of, you know, things to hang out to get caught up on. And the reason I may do this is because I'll be having, and I did this on the inside as well, this particular one, because I'm not going to be, I really don't use this too much. It's nice to know that it's there and I can have it. If anything, I might put something perhaps a little bit more rigid. I'm not sure if I'm going to put anything back here, any backing, or maybe another towel to give a cushion. But the towel I have in here now, really does help. So the towel I have in here now really does make a difference here in that cushion against your body. So, but so there's a lot of things I've been, playing around with this, seeing if it can be, if I can use it every day. And for summer, in my opinion, where I live, which is in Houston, very hot and humid about this time of the year, it works great because it also holds a lot of other things. All the cards I have right here, my credit cards and everything, and insurance card, ID, and everything I need, my license, carrying conceal license, my Wi-Fi, mobile Wi-Fi, and then some cash. right here. It's just a business card, but just to keep it more rigid in the back. Some cash here. So, and then this particular phone would be somewhere in here. So overall, the weight with what I normally would carry, put in my pockets and everything, everything that I have here normally would be in my pocket. And then the phone, of course, would also be in here. So I got a phone, mobile Wi-Fi, mainly because if you've seen the previous, if you've seen the video right before this, I do carry my computer with me everywhere. And if you're wondering why I carry that computer, I carry it because I trade a lot of Bitcoin, so that's why I have the mobile Wi-Fi. And so, anyway, let's get back to this lock. One thing about the carabiner as well, it does hold my key because I always kind of lose the key, but it can act as a temporary kind of lock if you do it the right way. Like the front part here, I like to jam in that little piece here. Okay, jam in that piece. Let's see how much it's going to work for me here. Okay, so I lock it here, and then so it's kind of locked. I should do a better job of this actually. Try to get it on really tight as I can, and then I'll lock one of the loops in place. I'll usually do it while I have it strapped on me, but okay. So there you go. So it kind of acts as a temporary lock. It's kind of like a lock, but not really. And on top of that, you could do that with this as well. So once you got that in place, you can, and depending on which side you're on, I would just do the top one. There you go. Now this thing is really secure. Would you normally do this? Not really, but in a situation where I'm with my family, kids and stuff, where they're jumping on me and playing with me, I might do this because I just don't want them trying to open what's in here. Also, if you have this in the house, it's possible you could just have this set up and just, not that you would leave the room or anything, but you just want it off your waist and just kind of put it aside for now, and then it kind of acts as a temporary lock. And of course, if you really need a lock, depending on what you want to lock up, of course this zipper being the gun lock, specifically being the gun here. A lot of things you can do here is just, if you have a lock, just go ahead and lock it up. Flip it on both sides. And let's see if I can get this to go over. Yep. There we go. Since, you know, this is long enough, it's possible you can do this. Would you really do this while walking around? I'm not sure. Let me see. If I can get this to be replaced by the carabiner. Yeah, why not? It's not odd. It's not that strange to have a little lock like here, and then it's not quite accessible because there's a webbing right here, and you still can't see it. See right here, there's that little webbing part won't let you quite see. There's a little webbing right there that won't let you see or poke your finger in too much. I mean, you can definitely poke your finger into it, but you can't really get to it. So it does lock. I don't think you can really pull the gun out from here. So it's a little bit safety if you wanted to do that. Me personally, I wouldn't, but you know, when you travel, some of these states, they really like to make it hard for you to carry your gun safely or transport your gun safely, one or the other. I think it's very unsafe the way they make you transport your weapon or carry your weapon. So anyways, the carabiner works too. I prefer the carabiner because you just don't have to lock it. It's not used for a lock, but could be used for a lock. So it comes in really handy. And the other thing is, so I could do a lot of things with this. Travel, use it within my state, which allows me to just carry openly anyway, as long as I have a carry license. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was what I noticed is, and this is probably the reason why I really like this fanny pack, because it's very small and very useful to me, because like I said, everything I have in here would have been in my pocket, but now the only thing I carry is just my simple, car keys, and that's about it. Really lightens the load on your waist if you have a belt on. If you have a belt on, which I do right here, it really does lighten, the weight off the belt for your pants anyway, or it really lightens your pants or shorts, whatever you want to call it. And in the heat, a nice breeze coming through feels great, because you don't want to be all sweaty, especially in Houston. But what I noticed is the way I carry this is very similar, very, very similar to the way I carry my gun, which is Appendix style, I guess is what it's called, up in the front. Normally, how I've been doing it is I would have it here. No point showing you. I would have it right here, facing this way, and a little bit like right about here. Let me see, this 12, about 11 o'clock, and I would have it somewhat canted a little bit so I could draw this way or a little bit over from this way. Not a quick draw, but that's how I've been normally carrying it. Otherwise, I would have it also here to have in front, quick draw, mainly because of the way I drive, like I showed you in the previous video, obviously the previous video before this, and it's carrying this is very similar to like Appendix, but even better than Appendix because it's already concealed, and you don't have to do inside the waist. Let's see here if I can just move you out a little bit. So it's like this, and maybe I'll even take you out. Hold on, actually I'll just go ahead and just take you out. Okay. So here's my setup right here. And it's very similar to Appendix style, in which, and you can even see the bag itself, the fanny pack, it comes at a little angle to fit next to your thighs. And the way I carry is, and the reason why I really like this fanny pack is, it's like a gun. It really is just I treat it more like a holster that already has a belt attached to it, ready to clip on, and that's how I treat it, even though it's really a fanny pack. But if you really want to think about what it is for me in particular, it's basically an appendix holding style for a concealed outside outside the waist, outside your garment carry. It's what it's really like. And you know, it's a little different. It's not quite set up in a way where it's like this, where you can just, you know, do this, and yeah, the gun is loaded, but it is on, let me see, it is on safety, and yeah, but it is loaded. There's none in the chamber. Left-handed. I like the Walter P22 left-handed, and I love the way it does that. But I already know it's not. You're gonna have to learn one days. Anyways, let me just check it real quick. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, there's nothing in there. I just cracked it open. Some of the things that I'm doing other than just carrying one gun is possibly carrying two guns on me in different spots, and utilizing my left hand as well as my right hand. So when I do shoot, I do practice shooting my left hand, and the Walter P22 is really small enough to do that with your weak hand, which is my left hand. But anyways, it's not quite set up to be like a quick draw in a way, like, although you can put it in this way and then, you know, do whatever, but that's not what it's for, really. It's really for me to carry in an open but yet concealable way. And so far, I do like it a lot, mainly because if you look at the way this setup, it's almost like a similar to a chest rig, but more appendix style carry, in that it opens up and you can see the gun. I might migrate my other clip in here somewhere, maybe not. But if you look at it, it's similar to appendix carry, which would be right here. And the only difference is I'm not pointing the gun down, and it's not chambered in any way. I do carry this way normally with my normal belt concealed under a garment, not under a shirt, but I use this as a garment to, you know, so it doesn't beat up on my skin. But in the summer it's kind of hard to do that. So this is very similar to appendix carry, but even better because unlike inside the waistband, where you have to have it, and this would kind of it's very versatile in that how you can excuse me, I'm just trying to get it in a position where, you know, you can do more things with it, like you can move it up higher, up on your chest, and then you could inhale a little bit, and then it will retain itself right here for a moment. It won't be there forever, but you can breathe in and kind of retain it so it will stay there, and that way you can, you know, use the bathroom, pull down your pants. Another thing, and this is my experience from carrying with my holster and belt, is that I have a belt to hold up my pants, right? A belt to hold up my pants, and then I have a belt just for my gun or my holster for the gun. So when I carry and I'm concealing, what I'm really doing is I have a belt for my pants, and then I have a belt for my gun. And doing that allows me to carry in many different ways. With this particular case, it's appendix carry, and when I get tired of doing that, or the way I'm positioned, appendix carry is not that great, or it's not very practical or convenient, or accessibility issues, I can switch it to my, since this is outside the waist, concealed, it becomes my weak hand, which this is actually set up. That's why the holsters, that's why the handle's on this side. It's a weak hand carry, weak hand. Now normally I don't have one chambered, and it's on safety, so it's, again, it's not a quick draw. It's just a way to have a gun with you for your self-protection at all times. And when I'm in Texas and I'm around the house, I'm in the house, I'm doing yard work, the 22 is okay with me. I feel safe when I'm at my house, but I don't feel as safe as when I'm traveling away from my house. So I wouldn't use this when I'm on the road. I would use my regular 9mm or my 357 Magnum. But for me being in the house, around the house, in the yard, stuff like that, going to the grocery store, just going someplace really quick, this is actually my preferred firearm. So, you know, I hate to use my firearm and end up going through a few homes of my neighbor, or even hitting my neighbors. So that's why I use the 22 to minimize that. So anyways, it becomes a left or a weak hand carry, all right? And then in an instant, it becomes a, so from I can do 12 o'clock, and then when this becomes inconvenient, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then it becomes my strong hand. My strong hand now. And what I like about it is because of how it's set up, the bag is deep enough where I can just simply turn it over really quick. Of course, if you're going to be weak hand or right hand, you have to kind of make up your mind. But you can go into your car, and if you change which hand you want to choose, you can just switch it over. You don't have to make any holster adjustments or any weird nonsense kind of stuff, or change out your holster. You can make it turn. You could just simply turn it over, and it's a strong hand holster. And you know, change the change the zipper around however you want to do it. You could probably just, you know, whatever works for you. Of course, you know, it's not set up like this. It's set up like this, and it's a different way of carrying. People worry about shooting your balls off. I've carried appendix style with the barrel pointed down, and so far, yeah, my balls are still there, and so is my penis. I haven't shot myself, and I haven't accidentally discharged any, did an accidental discharge or negligent discharge or anything. So, and I've been doing that for about 3 years. Only recently have I not done that because, again, I left my belt in Pennsylvania where it's waiting for me. And I really like that particular belt. But anyways, the way I normally carry is very similar to the way I carry this fanny pack. I have a belt for my pants, so my pants won't fall down. So far, ever since I've owned a firearm and started carrying and concealing, I've never holstered my gun onto my belt of my apparel, my clothing. Just because a couple reasons. It's heavy. If you have a lot of keys in your pocket and you carry a lot of other things, it feels heavy on, and then you have to constantly tighten it. But it feels heavy. Doing it this way, I don't. The weight is the same, but how much weight and wear is spread out over your body, and it feels more like you can carry a lot more by having a dedicated belt for your gun and then having a belt for your pants. The other thing is, if you wanted to pull down your pants, oh, excuse me, a little embarrassing. If you wanted to pull down your pants, which I don't know about you, but every time I use the bathroom or use the restroom, I have to relieve myself. Number one, number two. Some people may even have a number three. I'm not sure, but I often have to pull down my pants. And if you're out in public, it's a weird situation because if you have your gun on your actual belt to your pants, it's just kind of weird. So having a dedicated belt or a separate belt just for your gun is a good way to have multiple carries, because and I want to show you some is, and I'm just showing the belt side, like I know this is fanny pack, but if you can imagine, if you have a dedicated belt right here, let's just say for this example, you could still do inside the waist, or be like this, be inside the waist, and you can still drop your pants and your gun will stay right here. That's why I recommend like a second belt, and that's why this is very similar. Excuse me. This is very similar to the way I do carry my gun anyway, except that this is a fanny pack and I can carry it outside concealed, versus the other way I have, which would be a belt with the holster and the gun, open carry, where something like this. Now, whether you know it's a gun or not, that I'm carrying a gun or not, really doesn't matter. What matters is that you don't see a gun. If you assume I have a gun, that's fine. But I've taken it around everywhere, grocery store, shopping center, the bank, everywhere. And even places that, don't like you to have a firearm or carry a firearm, um, if they don't see it, they don't freak out. And I have yet anyone to ask me, hey, do you got a gun in that fanny pack? I haven't had anyone ask me that yet. Same thing goes for this here. I haven't had anybody ask me if I have a gun in this thing yet. So I guess what I'm trying to share is if you wear things the right way, if you do things that are comfortable for you, and most importantly, if you feel comfortable and have I wouldn't say confidence, but if you know if carrying a firearm is power went out, thunderstorms. If carrying a firearm is an everyday carry for you, okay, if carrying a firearm is an everyday thing, normal to you, then carrying it in a fanny pack, concealed but outside the waistband, people won't question it. Carrying an AR-15 pistol in a tennis racket bag, people will not question it. What really sells what really diffuses the tension, if there is any tension, is when people see this, and I know a lot of people have concerns like, well, I know I have a gun in here, but other people don't, so they're not going to think you have a gun. And so if this is normal for you, act normal, and people won't freak out about it. But if you're really that nervous, and you're worried about what if people think I have a gun, well, here's what I do. If I notice like people start looking at me, or I get weird feelings, like I think that they think that I have a gun or something, what I'll do is I'll just open up the front, and then I'll just like look around stuff. I'll just be like, I'll go to the cash register when I buy something, I'll open this up, and I'll just fumble around pulling out my card, my debit card or whatever. And when they see that I think really diffuses any concerns, if you have any concerns, if people think you have a gun, because when you do this, what they really see is just your stuff, your phone and whatnot, and then they'll just accept that what you have in here is just normal everyday stuff. Same thing in here. One of the things that I do to diffuse the situation, at least in my mind, is I'll have this on my shoulder, and then I'll open this up. Of course, my Walther P22 was actually in here like that, but now that I have the fanny pack, I'm just taking this with me. I don't have the P22 in here. There is looks like this is a holster, but obviously you can't see it. But my sock, my pin, I'll open this up, and then I'll just have all this stuff: water bottle, towel, some wires. But when people see that, they're thinking, well, it's probably just my tennis bag, and have a towel and all this other stuff. So if you want to diffuse concerns about whether you think people think you have a gun or not, open the front pocket where you just have your normal, stuff that you would have. Look through it, and then close it. And then when other people see that, and you see other people see you do that, it does ease your mind, and it probably will ease other people's mind if they think you have a gun. Of course, you're not opening this particular pocket, but you're opening the front. So if they see something that they would expect to see, people will normally in their mind accept that this is nothing more than just a mere fanny pack with your keys, your wallet, and some other stuff. I mean, I do have my key right here, so my experience so far is all the different ways I've been carrying in the, well, I don't carry actually in the pocket, but have you seen my vest? I carry gun in the pocket, my little Bond girl, and also with the Walther P22. Excuse me. I've also carried with my gun belt holstered. I've carried all different ways. The only thing I haven't done is ankle carry and thigh carry and bra carry. But I'm a man. I wouldn't do these things. So I'm not gonna wear a bra. I don't know. Maybe in the future I will. I don't thigh carry because I don't wear a dress. Not that there's anything wrong with a man wearing a dress. I'm not judging anyone. I haven't had a chance to ankle carry because I'm mostly in the summertime I'm going to be wearing shorts, and in the wintertime it's cold enough out in Texas where I just wear a heavy jacket or a jacket and then conceal. So but you never know. I might try. I haven't shoulder like a traditional shoulder carry yet, but I'm considering something like that or a variation like that. Maybe I can modify my vest. But overall, experimenting different ways to carry your gun, and not only carry your gun but also concealing your gun. This is great because I can carry, transport my gun. It'll be a little different how I set that up, but I can do that. It requires, unfortunately, more of these stupid things to transport them in a state that doesn't allow me to carry and conceal. So you can also transport your firearm in this, and also carry and conceal in this as well, depending where you are. So anyways, I just want to share that with you, give you an update, also overall review. I've also slept with this on, with this loaded and everything, not chambered, because I will not chamber I typically will not chamber it into a loose pocket like this, because there is a lot of things that you still have to do, and you could discharge around just trying to get to your firearm. But again, most of the time this is for in the house, around the house, around where I live. When I travel, it'll definitely be a different gun, a different setup. But that's what's great, is that I can put other guns in here. I just right now choose to use the Walther P22. So anyways, very similar to the way I normally carry now, Appendix style. The only difference is outside the waistband, or outside the garment as well. And not only that, but depending how you can adjust it in a way that is right for you, however you want to do it. However you want to do it. This is kind of nice because if you have something around your waist that you want to get to, you can do that and then plop it down. You just want to, another thing is, I do have this while I'm inside the house. So often I'll be laying down on the couch, I'll be sitting on the couch, and so I can adjust it here, here. You can't let it droop when you sit down in it. When you sit down, of course the barrel is like that. It might be pointing right into your thigh. So another thing I'll do when I'm sitting down, because I know, and I gotta know which way the gun is pointed, this way or this way, when I sit down, I'll just on my lap, kind of like this, just right here on the lap. So the gun is sitting on top of my thigh here, and so the barrel's pointing out this way. I want it that way. So if the barrel's this way, I'll put it on my left side, and it'll just sit right here, pointing out, you know, that way, that way. So it's a little bit, I guess, if you're paranoid, if you're paranoid about the appendix style in which you'll carry your gun like this because you're gonna blow your balls off, which I have yet to do. You know, this could be another way. This small little fanny pack could be another way. I'm actually really liking this a lot, mainly because of my lifestyle. I'm not employed by anyone. If you've seen some of my other videos in my channel, I trade. I'm a Bitcoin investor, so that's how I make my living. So I wear anything I want, and you know, I'm not gonna dress up so I can go into the living room of my house and sit down in front of my computer. You know, I just get up in the morning and this is what I wear. You know, very comfortable, and so it works great for me. I would recommend people who like appendix style holstering, you know, whether you use a holster or Mexican style being without a holster, just right in the waistband. If you prefer this kind of a setup, you may want to consider this, because you can wear it outside your garment and then you can quickly adjust it, because I've carried appendix, you know, I've carried appendix style. Let me see, which one's my favorite. This is my favorite. It's actually like this. I carry my, and the reason why I like to have a second belt, is because normally, it's not loaded, of course, but normally if I did have a holster, I like it to ride up higher, right here. You know, I prefer not down here into my crotch, I prefer right here. And I actually have it set up like this for cross drawing, because I'll have a vest on and I'll, you know, I take it out this way because I'll have a vest sometimes. The vest that you see, I did a video on it. So when I do appendix carry, the nice thing about having a belt dedicated to, I don't have a holster, but I do have a dedicated belt to carry my holster and firearm. I don't use my belt that holds up my pants. I use up a dedicated belt, so it could be held up a little bit higher. So when I squat and turn and do stuff, it's not that bad. Of course, this is a Walther P22, a little bit smaller, but if you can get a subcompact, whatever caliber you're into, I'm just showing this example. Is this? Yeah, it's pretty. It's there. I mean, I have a holster. I can put it on. It's possible. But anyways, so you know, there's a lot of things you can do with it, because this fanny pack is also a belt, and you can have it in here, or you can open carry. So there's a lot of options you can do, you know, with this kind of style. I recommend it. If you're into appendix carry, this is another great option. Fanny pack carry, appendix style, in which hold on, let me try to adjust this real quick. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm back. If you're into appendix style of carrying, concealed, this is another option. It's Obviously, concealed. It is kind of like appendix style, but a little bit more versatile. And you go 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock. The only drawbacks is that it's a fanny pack, it's outside, and other people can see it. But if you make it a part of your lifestyle, then it's easy to I guess disguise it. You know, it's just out in the open, in plain sight, and it's concealed. You are carrying it. Maybe the way you have to carry it is a little different. Um, but if you're really tired of appendix style carrying in here, because I've done it, and it after a while, especially the way I have it, the belt is up higher, and then it comes up here. This part right here gets into your stomach, and after a while I feel like vomiting. I mean, I feel like just gagging. So this is way more comfortable and a lot easier too. So again, I slept with this, and what's nice is I turn to the right. I just put this in front of me, turn to the left. I sleep on my back. What I do if I want to sleep on my front, I just turn this back and then I sleep on my front. So and no accidental discharge, basically is the way I have it. No round in the chamber, and on safety. It's just for me to have a gun very close to me. So anyways, let me end this episode. So far, I would recommend a fanny pack for someone to carry, especially if you have a very active outdoor physical lifestyle, or you drive around going to place. I was a stay-at-home dad for a while, and so I would go pick up the kids, go to the store, take them to karate or other lessons, McDonald's to feed them, and then this really makes it easy, especially in the summer. So anyways, let me conclude this episode. Feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment, or even do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned.